Philosophers have been talking about justice for quite some time. Plato's Republic is one of the oldest and greatest works in the field, but one recent philosopher in the second half of the 1900s who did some interesting work on justice is John Rawls. Rawls thinks justice is fairness, and he has this beautiful thought experiment to illustrate his views. It's called the veil of ignorance. The idea is you take everyone in a society and remove them from the society and remove from them their memories of where they are and who they are in this society temporarily, and in this state of ignorance have them negotiate the best social arrangement. So people doing these negotiations will not remember their economic status. They won't remember if they're rich or poor. They won't remember what political party they are. They won't remember what their religion is. They won't remember even what gender they are. They won't remember how much education they have. And in this state of ignorance, the social arrangements they negotiate will be the most disinterested and the most fair to everyone. Without knowing whether you're rich or poor or any of these other things, they will choose the arrangements that are best for the rich, best for the poor, best for everyone, best for all of these different categories of people. And this is only theoretical, but Rawls thinks it's a good depiction of the way justice as fairness would work. And of course, it's something we can perhaps aspire to. We can try to be as disinterested as possible in negotiating our social arrangements. And what is merely hypothetical in a philosopher, in science fiction becomes still fictional, but less hypothetical. We get a depiction of what it actually looks like. And this is in Doctor Who, from the special episode, The Day of the Doctor. And what has happened is the Zygons have invaded Earth. These are shape-shifting aliens. And in the pivotal moment, the humans who are in charge of dealing with this situation are being impersonated by Zygons, and you can't tell them apart. You can't tell, in particular, Kate Stewart, the woman who's more or less in charge of dealing with the Zygon threat. You can't tell Stewart apart from the Zygon who's impersonating her, and each one will say, "I'm the real Kate Stewart." But only the Zygon knows which one is lying. Well, the Zygon and the real Kate Stewart. Only those two know which of them is the real one and which of them is the lying Zygon. And in order to force them to make a fair and just and workable treaty without unfairly prioritizing human interests over Zygons or Zygon interests over humans, the Doctor causes both of them and all the other human-Zygon pairs in the room to temporarily lose their memories of which ones they are. And so both versions of Kate Stewart, both versions have to negotiate a fair treaty without prioritizing Zygon interests over human or vice versa, because the Zygon doesn't even know she's a Zygon anymore, and the human doesn't know she's a human anymore. And so they do work out a functional treaty which is as fair and as helpful as it can be to both sides. And it is a beautiful depiction of the sort of thing Rawls was talking about. Now, I do not know if the people who made Doctor Who have studied Rawls. It wouldn't surprise me a bit if the people who wrote this episode had studied some of Rawls in university some years before. It also wouldn't surprise me much if they'd come at this idea independently. It's an interesting idea, and it's the right sort of illustration of the idea of justice as fairness, it's the right sort of way to illustrate the importance of disinterested, fair arrangements. And they may have arrived at this idea independently without ever having studied Rawls. I don't know.